This is Britton and Spencer's Most Excellent Chicago Adventure, day number 1.
We left Art City for Chicago at 12:30 a.m., Thursday morning, March 17th. We drove by bus to Newton, Kansas, where we would get on the train. As soon as we got to Newton at 2 a.m., we stopped at the local donut shop, Druber's Donuts, for a quick snack. They even had green donuts in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Then we headed to the train station. We took an Amtrak train all the way to Chicago. It was a 12-hour train ride. We got on the train at 3 a.m. in Newton, Kansas, and arrived at 3 p.m. that same day in Chicago, Illinois.
There isn't a lot to do on a train, so we took plenty of stuff to keep us busy.
After we arrived in Chicago, we quickly got in a cab and went to our hotel, the Hampton Majestic Inn. We had to rush to get around and get dressed up for dinner and a musical. We ate at a fancy Italian restaurant named the Italian Village. Their dessert was the best.
Then we went to the musical Walking, which was pretty funny. Day number 2. The next morning we did a little bit of sightseeing. Most people in Chicago travel on public transportation systems, which usually means bus or subway.
We took a bus to the Shedd Aquarium, where we saw tons of aquatic animals, including this manta ray, these fish, an ugly eel, this gigantic crab, amazing coral, jellyfish that really glow, and even this great white shark. We got to pet a starfish and watch a cool aquatic show that featured white beluga whales and Pacific dolphins.
After the aquarium, we went to one of our favorite places in the world, the Lego store. Look at these amazing sculptures that have all been built out of Legos. We didn't want to leave the Lego store, but our parents dragged us out. We had tickets for the 4 p.m. Blue Man Group show.
You may not know who the Blue Men are, but they are really cool and do crazy acts and stunts. Their faces and hands are covered in blue, and they are awesome! Next, we got to experience something that Chicago is famous for, deep, and I mean really deep, dish pizza. We ate at a local favorite place named Giordano's.
Now that's what I call pizza pie. After dinner, we went back to the hotel and slept. Day number 3.
We got up early and headed to the Museum of Science and Industry. One of the first things we did was see a real German U-boat that was captured during World War II. This museum was really cool because it had a lot of hands-on activities. We learned about lightning, storms. We watched an IMAX movie filmed partially in Kansas and Oklahoma called Tornado Alley, and it was kind of creepy. We even got to run in a gigantic hamster wheel and climb a rock wall. Hunger struck again, and next we went to Ed DeBevick's. This is a neat diner where all the employees dress in crazy 50s clothes and talk really sassy to the customers. After dinner, we walked to Willis Tower, which used to be called Sears Tower. This is the tallest building in the entire United States and one of the tallest in the whole world.
We rode an elevator 103 stories to the very top. Then we entered the skydeck. This is an awesome way to view Chicago. I hope you aren't scared of heights. Finally, back to our hotel. Day number 4, our very last day in Chicago.
We got up at 6 a.m., dressed, ate breakfast, and headed to the subway station. We took a subway to Holy Name Cathedral for 8 a.m. Mass. Even though we were on vacation, we knew it was important to worship God and attend church, and this church was beautiful. Wouldn't Mrs. Pontius love to play this organ?
We only had a few hours left, so we decided to cram in one more thing before we had to leave. Look out, Field Museum! Here we come!
The Field Museum is home to Sue. Sue is the most complete T-Rex skeleton in the world. Isn't she cute? We also saw some really neat Egyptian artifacts, including this real mummy. We walked through the underground adventure where they claimed to shrink us to 1/100th of our size. See how small we are compared to this penny and wool spider? After growing back to our normal sizes, we checked out the dinosaur exhibit, which was incredible. We rushed through the rest of the museum and hurried to get back to the hotel and throw our things into the taxicab.
The taxi dropped us off at Chicago's Union Station, which is where all of the trains arrive and depart from. The Union Station was huge! We boarded our train and began our 12-hour train ride back to Newton, Kansas, where we arrived at 3 a.m. Monday morning.
We hope you enjoyed our most excellent Chicago adventure.
The end.
Money comes in for the work I do. I'll pass almost every penny on to you.